I'm tired, Trinity. I'm tired of this war. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of this ship, of being cold, of eating the same goddamn goop every day. But most of all, I'm tired of this jagoff and all of his bullshit. Surprise, asshole. But you never saw this coming, did you?
I guess whenever you're ready, let's do this. The Matrix Rainbow Revolutions, as read by Jose.
Okay. The Matrix by Lana and Lily Wachowski. Fade in. On computer screen, so close it has no boundaries. A blinding cursor pulses in the electric darkness like a heart coursing with phosphorus light, burning beneath the derma of black neon glass. A phone begins to ring. We hear it as though we were making the call. The cursor continues to throb, relentlessly patient until...
Yeah?
Is everything in place?
Data now slashes across the screen, information flashing faster than we can read. Call trans opt received. 2/19/98 13/24/18 rec log.
Everything in place?
I said, oh, I think it's you.
I said, is everything in place?
You weren't supposed to relieve me.
I know, but I felt like taking a shift.
You like him, don't you? You like watching him.
Don't be ridiculous.
We're going to kill him. Do you understand that? He's going to die just like the others.
Morpheus believes he is the one.
Do you?
It doesn't matter what I believe.
You don't, do you?
If you have something to say, I suggest you take it up to Morpheus.
I intend to, believe me. Someone has to.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Are you sure this line is clean?
Yeah, of course I'm sure.
I better go.
Continued, she hangs up as we pass through the numbers, entering the nether world of the computer screen. Suddenly, a flash. Light cuts open the darkness and we find ourselves in interior heart of the night hotel. Heart of the city hotel night. The hotel was abandoned after a fire licked its way across the polyester carpeting, destroying several rooms as it spooled soot up the walls and ceiling, leaving patterns of permanent shadow. We follow 4 armed police officers using flashlights as they creep down the blackened hall and ready themselves on either side of room 303. The biggest of them violently kicks in the door. The other cops pour in behind him, guns thrust before them.
Oh, do we not have a big cop? Hold on one sec.
Please, please!
The room is almost devoid of furniture. There was a fold-up table and chair with a phone, a modem, and a PowerBook computer. The only light in the room is the glow of the computer. Sitting there, her hands still on the keyboard, is Trinity, a woman in black leather.
Now, do it!
She slowly puts her hands behind her head. Exterior, heart of the city hotel, night. A black sedan with tinted windows glides in through the police cruisers. Agent Smith, Agent Brown, and Agent Jones get out of the car. They wear dark suits and sunglasses even at night. They are also always hardwired. Small Secret Service earphones in one ear, the cord coiling back into their shirt collars.
Tenant. I was like, do we not have a lieutenant?
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna hang out in here so I'm in time with y'all.
Okay, that probably works out better. No worries. Do you want me to? I'll start it back from shirt collars, okay? Lieutenant.
Oh, shit.
Lieutenant, you were given specific orders.
I'm just doing my job.
You give me that jurisdiction crap, and you can cram it up your ass.
The orders were for your protection.
I think we can handle one little girl. I sent 2 units. They're bringing her down now.
No, Lieutenant, your men are already dead.
The big cop flicks out his cuffs, the other cop's holding a bead. They've done this 100 times. They know they've got her, until the big cop reaches with the cuffs and Trinity moves. It almost doesn't register, so smooth and fast, inhumanly fast. The eye blinks and Trinity's palm snaps up and the nose explodes, blood erupting. Her leg kicks with the force of a wrecking ball and he flies back, a 250-pound sack of limp meat and bone that slams into the cop farthest from her. Trinity moves again, bullets raking the walls, flashlights sweeping with panic as the remaining cops try to stop a leather-clad ghost. A gun still in the cop's hand is snatched, twisted, and fired. There is a final violent exchange of gunfire, and when it's over, Trinity is the only one standing. The flashlight rocks slowly to a stop.
Trinity?
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Yeah, no worries.
Shit.
Agent Brown enters the hotel while Agent Smith heads for the alley. Trinity is on the phone, pacing. The other end is answered.
Proper. Okay. Morpheus, the line was traced. I don't know how.
I know. They cut the hard line. This line is not a viable exit.
Are there any agents?
Yes,
God damn it.
you have to focus. There is a phone. Wells and Lake. You can make it.
All right.
Go.
She drops the phone. She bursts out of the room as Agent Brown enters the hall, leading into another unit of police. Trinity races to the opposite end, exiting through a broken window onto the fire escape. In the alley below, Trinity sees Agent Smith staring at her. She can only go up. On the roof, Trinity is running as Agent Brown rises over the parapet, leading the cops in pursuit. Trinity begins to jump from one roof to the next, her movements so clean, gliding in and out of each jump, contrasted to the wild jumps of the cops. Agent Brown, however, has the same unnatural grace. The roof falls away into a wide back alley. The next building is over 40 feet away, but Trinity's face is perfectly calm, staring at some point beyond the other roof.
That's it. We got her now.
The cops slow, realizing they are about to see something ugly as Trinity drives at the edge, launching herself into the air. From above, the ground seems to flow beneath her as she hangs in flight, then hits, somersaulting up, still running hard.
Jesus Christ. That's impossible.
They stare, slack-jawed, as Agent Brown duplicates the move exactly, landing, rolling over a shoulder up onto one knee. It is a dizzying chase up and over the dark, plateaued landscape of rooftops and sheer cliffs of brick. Ahead, she sees her only chance, 50 feet beyond the point where her path drops away into a paved chasm. There is a yellow glow in the midst of a dark brick building. Trinity zeroes in on it, running as hard as she can, and she hurtles herself into the empty night space, her body leveling into a dive. She falls, arms covering her head as the whole world seems to spin on its axis, and she crashes with an explosion of glass and wood, then falls onto a back stairwell, tumbling, bouncing downstairs, bleeding, broken, but still alive. She wheels on the smashed opening above, her gun instantly in her hand, trained, waiting for Agent Brown, but is met by only a slight wind that hisses against the fanged maw of broken glass. Trinity tries to move. Everything hurts.
Get up, Trinity. You're fine. Get up. Just get up.
She stands and limps down the rest of the stairs. Trinity emerges from the shadows of an alley and, at the end of the block, in a pool of white street light, she sees it, the telephone booth. Obviously hurt, she starts down the concrete walk, focusing in completely. her pace quickening as the phone begins to ring. Across the street, a garbage truck suddenly U-turns, its tires screaming as it accelerates. Trinity sees the headlights of the truck arcing at the telephone booth as if taking aim. Gritting through the pain, she races the truck, slamming into the booth, the headlights blindingly bright, bearing down on the box of plexiglass just as she answers the phone. There is a frozen instant of silence before the hulking mass of dark metal lurches up onto the sidewalk, barreling through the booth, bulldozing it into a brick wall, smashing it into plexiglass pulp. After a moment, the black loafer steps down from the cab of the garbage truck. Agent Smith inspects the wreckage. There is no body. Trinity is gone. His jaw sets as he grinds his molars in frustration. Agent Jones and Brown walk up behind him.
She got out.
Doesn't matter.
The informant is real.
Yes.
We have the name of their next target.
The name is Neo.
We'll need a search running.
It's already begun.
We are sucked towards the mouthpiece of the phone, closer and closer until the smooth gray plastic spreads out like a horizon and the small holes widen until we fall through one, swallowed by darkness. The darkness crackles with phosphorescent energy, the word searching blazing in around us as we emerge from a computer screen. The screen flickers with windowing data as a search engine runs with a steady, relentless rhythm. We drift back from the screen and into Neo's apartment. It is a studio apartment that seems overgrown with technology. Weed-like cables coil everywhere, duct-taped into thickets that wind up and around the legs of several desks. Tabletops are filled with cannibalized equipment that lay open like an autopsied corpse. At the center of this technological rat nest is Neo, a man who knows more about living inside a computer than outside one. He's asleep in front of his PC. Behind him, the computer screen suddenly goes blank. A prompt appears. Wake up, Neo. Neo's eye pries open. He sits up, one eye still closed. Looking around, unsure where he is, he notices the screen. He types Control X, but the letter T appears.
What?
He hits another and an H appears. He keeps trying, pushing random functions and keys while the computer types out a message as though it had a mind of its own. He stops and stares at the 4 words on the screen. The Matrix has you.
What the hell?
He hits the ESC button. Another message appears. Follow the white rabbit. He hits it again and the message repeats. He rubs his eyes, but when he opens them, there is another message. Knock, knock, Neo. Someone knocks on his door, and he almost jumps out of his chair. He looks back at the computer, but the screen is now blank. Someone knocks again. Neo rises, still unnerved.
Who is it?
It's Troy.
You're 2 hours late.
I know. It's her fault.
You got the money?
$2,000.
Hold on.
He closes the door. On the floor near his bed is a book, Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulations. The book has been hollowed out, and inside are several computer disks. He takes one, sticks the money in the book, and drops it on the floor. Opening the door, he hands the disc to Choi.
Hallelujah. You are my savior, man. My own personal Jesus Christ.
If you get caught using that...
I know. This never happened. You don't exist.
Right.
Something wrong, man? You look a little whiter than usual.
I don't know. My computer... You ever have the feeling that you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming?
All the time. It's called mescaline. It's the only way I fly. Sounds to me like you need to unplug, man. A little R&R. What do you think, du jour? Should we take him with us?
Definitely.
I can't. I have to work tomorrow.
Come on. It'll be fun. I promise.
He looks up at her and suddenly notices on her black leather motorcycle jacket dozens of pins, bands, symbols, slogans, military medals, and a small white rabbit. The room tilts.
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
An older apartment, a series of halls connects a chain of small, high-ceilinged rooms lined with heavy casements. Smoke hangs like a veil, blurring the few lights there are. Dressed predominantly in black, people are everywhere, gathered in cliques around pieces of furniture like jungle cats around a tree. Neo stands against a wall, alone, sipping from a bottle of beer, feeling completely out of place. He's about to leave when he notices a woman staring at him. The woman is Trinity. She walks straight up to him. In the nearest room, shadow-like figures grind against each other to the pneumatic beat of industrial music.
Hello, Neo.
How do you know that name?
I know a lot about you. I've been wanting to meet you for some time.
Who are you?
My name is Trinity.
Trinity? The Trinity? The Trinity that cracked the IRS D-base?
That was a long time ago.
Jesus.
What?
I just thought you were a guy.
Most guys do.
Do you want to go somewhere and talk?
No, it's safe here and I don't have much time.
The music is so loud they must stand very close, talking directly into each other's ear.
That was you on my computer. How did you do that?
Right now, all I can tell you is that you are in danger. I brought you here to warn you.
Of what?
They're watching you, Neo.
Who is?
Please, just listen. I know why you're here, Neo. I know what you've been doing. I know why you hardly sleep, why you live alone, and why, night after night, you sit at your computer. You're looking for him. I know because I was once looking for the same thing. But when he found me, he told me I wasn't really looking for him. I was looking for an answer. It's the question that drives us, the question that brought you here. You know the question just as I did.
What is the Matrix?
When I asked him, he said that no one could ever be told the answer to that question. They have to see it to believe it. The answer is there, Neo. It's looking for you and it will find you if you want it to.
She turns and he watches her melt in the shifting wall of bodies. A sound rises, steadily, growing out of the music, pressing in on Neo until it's all we can hear as we cut to Neo's apartment. The sound is an alarm clock, slowly dragging Neo to consciousness. He strains to read the clock face. 9:15 a.m.
Shit.
The downtown office of Metacortex, a software development company. The main offices are along each wall, the windows overlooking downtown. Reinhardt, the ultimate company man, lectures Neo without looking at him, typing at his computer continuously. Neo stares at the two window cleaners on a scaffolding outside, dragging their rubber squeegee down the surface of the glass.
You have a problem with authority, Mr. Anderson. You believe that you are special, that somehow the rules do not apply to you. Obviously, you are mistaken. This company is one of the top software companies in the world because every single employee understands that they are a part of a whole. Thus, if an employee has a problem, the company has a problem. The time has come to make a choice, Mr. Anderson. Either you choose to be at your desk on time from this day forth, or you choose to find yourself another job. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Mr. Reinhardt. Perfectly clear.
The entire floor looks like a human honeycomb, with a labyrinth of cubicles structured around a core of elevators.
Cal, that's you.
Thomas Anderson?
Yeah, that's me.
Have a nice day.
Neo opens the bag. Inside is a cellular phone. It seems the instant it is in his hand, it rings. Unnerved, he flips it open.
Hello? Oh shit, sorry. Morpheus retrieved. Hello?
Hello, Neo. Do you know who this is?
Morpheus.
I've been looking for you, Neo. I don't know if you're ready to see what I want to show you, but unfortunately, we have run out of time. They're coming for you, Neo, and I'm not sure what they're going to do.
Who's coming for me?
Stand up and see for yourself.
Right now?
Yes, now.
Neo starts to stand.
Do it slowly. The elevator.
His head peeks up over the partition. At the elevator, he sees Agent Smith, Agent Brown, and Agent Jones lead in a group of cops. A female employee turns and points out Neo's cubicle. Neo ducks.
Holy shit!
Yes.
One cop stays at the elevator. The others follow the agents.
What the hell do they want with me?
I'm not sure, but if you don't want to find out, you better get out of there.
How?
I can guide you out, but you have to do exactly what I say.
The agents are moving quickly towards the cubicle.
The cubicle across from you is empty.
But what if...
Go, now!
Neo lunges across the hall, diving into the other cubicle just as the agents turn into his row. Neo crams himself into a dark corner, clutching the phone tightly to him.
Stay here for a moment.
The agents enter Neo's empty cubicle. A cop is sent to search the bathroom. Morpheus's voice is a whisper in Neo's ear.
A little longer.
Brown is talking to another employee.
When I tell you, go to the end of the row to the first office on the left. Stay as low as you can.
Sweat trickles down his forehead.
Now.
Neo rolls out of the cubicle, his eyes popping as he freezes right behind a cop who has just turned around. Staying crouched, he sneaks away down the row, shooting across the opening to the first office on the left. The room is empty.
Good. Outside, there's a scaffold.
How do you know all this?
The answer is coming, Neo. There's a window in front of you. Open it.
He opens the window. The wind howls into the room.
You can use the scaffold to get to the roof.
No. It's too far away.
There's a ledge. It's a short climb. You can make it.
Neo looks down. The building's glass wall vertigos into a concrete chasm.
No way, no way. This is crazy.
There are only two ways out of this building. One is that scaffold. The other is in their custody. You take a chance either way. I leave it to you.
Click. He hangs up. Neo looks at the door, then back at the scaffold.
This is insane. Why is this happening to me? What did I do? I'm nobody. I didn't do anything.
He climbs up onto the window ledge, hanging onto the frame. He steps onto the small ledge. The scaffold seems even farther away.
I'm gonna die.
The wind suddenly blasts up the face of the building, knocking Neo off balance. Recoiling, he clings harder to the frame, and the phone falls out of his hand. He watches as it is swallowed by the distance beneath him.
This is insane. I can't do this. Forget it.
He climbs back into the office just as the cop opens the door.
Shit.
The agents lead a handcuffed Neo out of the revolving doors, forcing his head down as they push him into the dark sedan. Trinity watches in the rearview mirror of her motorcycle.
Trinity.
Trinity, that's you.
Ready?
Is this me?
Yeah, for one line.
Get in.
No, page 19. Just say
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Yeah, say shit.
I was-
Just say shit. Just say shit.
Also, while we're at it, Megaran, turn your camera off once you're done Morpheus lines.
Okay.
Interior interrogation room. Close on, a camera monitor, a wide-angle view of a white room where Neo is sitting at a table alone. We move into the monitor, entering the room as if the monitor was a window. At the same moment, the door opens and the agents enter. Agent Smith sits down across from Neo. A thick manila envelope slaps down on the table. The name on the file? Anderson Thomas A.
It seems you've been living two lives. In one life, you're Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. Social security number, pay your taxes, help your landlady carry out her garbage. The other life is in computers, where you go by the hacker alias Neo and are guilty of virtually every computer crime we have a law for. One of these lives has a future. Going to be as forthcoming as I can be, Mr. Anderson. You're here because we need your help. We know you've been contacted by a certain individual, a man who calls himself Morpheus. Now, whatever you think you know about this man is irrelevant. The fact is, he's wanted for acts of terrorism in more countries than any other man in the world. He's considered by many authorities to be the most dangerous man alive. Colleagues, believe that I'm wasting my time with you, but I believe you want to do the right thing. It is obvious to me that you're an intelligent man, Mr. Anderson, and that you're interested in the future, and that's why I believe you are ready to put the past mistakes behind you and get on with your life. Now, we're willing to wipe this slate clean, to give you a fresh start. And all we're asking in return is your cooperation in bringing a known terrorist to justice.
Yeah, wow, that sounds like a real good deal. But I think I have a better one. How about I just give you the finger and you give me my phone call?
Disappoint me, Mr. Anderson.
You can't scare me with this Gestapo crap. I know my rights. I want my phone call.
Tell me, Mr. Anderson, what good is a phone call if you're unable to speak?
Question unnerves Neo, and he begins to feel the muscles in his jaw tighten. The standing agents snicker, watching Neo's confusion grow into panic. Neo feels his lips grow soft and sticky as they slowly seal shut, melding into each other until all traces of his mouth are gone. Wild with fear, he lunges for the door, but the agents restrain him, holding him in the chair.
Going to help us, Mr. Anderson, whether you want to.
Smith nods, and the other two rip open his shirt. From a case taken out of his suit coat, Smith removes a long fiber optic wire tap. Neo struggles helplessly as Smith dangles the wire over his exposed abdomen. Horrified, he watches as the electronic device animates, becoming an organic creature that resembles a hybrid of an insect and a fluke worm. Thin, whisker-like tendrils reach out and probe into Neo's navel. He bucks wildly as Smith drops the creature, which looks for a moment like an uncut umbilical cord, before it begins to burrow, its tail thrashing as it worms its way inside. Neo's apartment, night. Screaming, Neo bolts upright in his bed. He realizes that he is home. Was it a dream? His mouth is normal. His stomach looks fine. He starts to take a deep, everything is okay breath when the phone rings. Almost stops his heart. It continues ringing, building pressure in the room, forcing him up out of bed, sucking him in with an almost gravitational force. He answers it, saying nothing.
This line is tapped, so I must be brief.
The agents.
They got to you first, but they've underestimated how important you are. If they knew what I know, you would already be dead.
What are you talking about? What the hell is happening to me?
You're the one, Neo. You see, you may have spent the last few years looking for me, but I've spent most of my life looking for you. Do you still want to meet?
Yes.
Go to the Adam Street Bridge.
Click. He closes his eyes, unsure of what he has done. It is just beyond the middle of the night, that time when it seems there are no rules and everything feels unsafe. Neo's boots scrape against the concrete. Every pair of eyes he passes seems to follow him. Rain pours from a black sky. As he reaches the bridge, headlights creep in behind him. He turns just as the car slides quickly to a stop beside him. The back door opens.
Get in.
A large man named Apoc is driving. Beside him is a beautiful androgyne called Switch, aiming a large gun at Neo. Window wipers beat heavily against the windshield.
What the hell is this?
Necessary, Neo. Protection.
From what?
From you.
Take off your shirt.
What? Why?
Stop the car. Listen to me, Coppertop. We don't have time for 20 questions right now. Right now, there is only one rule. Our way or the highway.
Fine.
Neo, please. You have to trust me.
Why?
Because you've been down there before, Neo. You already know that road. You know exactly where it ends. And I know that's not where you want to be.
He closes the door. A moment later, the green streetlights curve over the car's tinted windshield as it rushes through the wet underworld. Neo grudgingly strips off his t-shirt.
Fly back.
Trinity aims the device at Neo, its glass snout forming a seal over his navel. Switch snaps a cable into the front seat cigarette lighter.
What is this thing?
You think you're bugged. Try to relax.
She turns a dial and the machine bears down on Neo's midsection, the cylinder sucking hard at his stomach. Neo screams, squinting in pain as Trinity watches the needle on a pressure gauge climb steadily.
Come on. Come on.
On a small monitor that projects an ultrasound-like image, we see Neo's insides begin to slither and churn. He grasps as something wiggles beneath his skin inside his stomach.
It's on the move.
Shit.
You're gonna lose it.
No, I'm not. Clear.
The foreboding word hangs in Neo's ear for a moment when Trinity squeezes a trigger. Electric current hammers into Neo and rigid convulsions take hold of him beneath the flickering car lamp until something finally rockets wetly out of Neo's stomach through the extractor's cell coils.
Jesus Christ, it's real? That thing is real?
Trinity lifts a glass cage at the end of the tubing. Inside, the small fluke-like bug flips and squirms, its tendrils flapping against the clear walls. She unrolls the window and dumps it out. It hits the pavement with a metallic tink, reverted back into a common wire tap as the car disappears into the rainy night. The car stops in a deserted alley behind a forgotten hotel. It is a place of putrefying elegance, a rotting host of urban maggotry. Trinity leads Neo from the stairwell down the hall of the 13th floor. They stop outside room 1313.
This is it. Let me give you one piece of advice. Be honest. He knows more than you can possibly imagine.
Across the room, a dark figure stares out the tall windows veiled with decaying lace. He turns and his smile lights up the room. A dull roar of thunder shakes the building.
At last.
He wears a long black coat and his eyes are invisible behind circular mirrored glasses. He strides to Neo and they shake hands.
Welcome, Neo. As you no doubt have guessed, I am Morpheus.
It's an honor.
No, the honor is mine. Please, come. Sit.
He nods to Trinity and she exits through a door to an adjacent room. They sit across from one another in cracked, burgundy leather chairs.
I imagine right now you must be feeling a bit like Alice, tumbling down the rabbit hole.
You could say that.
I could see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees because he is expecting to wake up. Ironically, this is not far from the truth, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Can you tell me, Neo, why are you here?
You're Morpheus. You're a legend. Most hackers would die to meet you.
Yes, thank you. But I think we both know there's more to it than that. Do you believe in fate, Neo?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you are here. You have come because you know something. What you know, you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your whole life. Felt that something is wrong with the world. You don't know what, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is? The
Neo
Matrix.
swallows hard and nods.
The Matrix is everywhere. It's all around us, here, even in this room. You can see it out your window or on your television. You feel it when you go to work or go to church or pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, kept inside a prison that you cannot smell, taste, or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
Morpheus opens his hands. In the right is a red pill, in the left, a blue pill.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no going back. You take the blue pill, and the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
The pills in his open hands are reflected in the glasses.
You take the red pill, and you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Neo feels the smooth skin of the capsules, the moisture growing in his palms.
Remember that all I am offering you is the truth, nothing more.
Neo opens his mouth and swallows the red pill. The Cheshire smile returns.
Follow me.
He leads Neo into the other room, which is cramped with high-tech equipment, glowing ash blue and electric green from the racks of monitors. Trinity, APOC, Switch, and Cypher look up as they enter.
APOC, are we online?
Almost.
He and Trinity are working quickly, hardwiring a complex system of monitors, modules, and drives.
Neo, time is always against us. Will you take a seat there?
Neo sits in a chair in the center of the room, and Trinity begins gently fixing white electrode discs to him. Near the chair is an old oval dressing mirror that is cracked. He whispers to Trinity.
You did all this?
Mm-hmm.
She nods, placing a set of headphones over his ears. They are wired to an old hotel phone.
The pill you took is part of a trace program. It's designed to disrupt your input-output carrier signal so we can pinpoint your location.
What does that mean?
Means buckle up, Dorothy, because Kansas is about to go bye-bye.
Distantly, through the earphones, he hears APOC pounding on a keyboard. Sweat beads his face. His eyes blink and twitch when he notices the mirror. Wide-eyed, he stares as it begins to heal itself, a webwork of cracks that slowly run together as though the mirror were becoming liquid.
Did you?
Cypher works with APOC, checking reams of phosphorescent data. Trinity monitors Neo's electric vital signs. Neo reaches out to touch the mirror, and his fingers disappear beneath the rippling surface. Quickly, he tries to pull his fingers out, but the mirror stretches in long, rubbery strands like mirrored taffy stuck to his fingertips.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real?
This can't be.
Be what? Be real?
The strands like thin, like rubber cement as he pulls away until the fragile wisps of mirror thread break.
What if you were unable to wake up from that dream, Neo? How would you know the difference between a dream world and the real world?
Neo looks at his hand, fingers distended into mirrored icicles that begin to melt rapidly, dripping, running like wax down his fingers, spreading across his palm where he sees his face reflected.
Uh-oh.
It's going into replication.
APOC?
Still nothing.
Morpheus takes out a cellular phone and dials a number.
Hank, we're going to need the signal soon.
The mirror gel seems to come to life, racing, crawling up his arms like hundreds of insects. The mirror creeps up his neck as Neo begins to panic, tipping his head as though he were sinking into the mirror, trying to keep his mouth up.
It's cold.
I got fibrillation.
Shit! APOC!
Targeting. Almost there.
He's going into arrest.
Look, I got him.
Now, Tank, now!
His eyes tear with mirror rolling up and closing as a high-pitched electric scream erupts in the headphones. It is a piercing shriek like a computer calling to another computer. Neo's body arches in agony and we are pulled like we were pulled into the holes of the phone, sucked into his scream and swallowed by darkness. Power plant close on a man's body, floating in a magenta amnion. His body spasms, fighting against the thick gelatin. Metal tubes, surreal versions of hospital tubes, obscure his face. Other lines like IVs are connected to limbs and cover his genitals. He is struggling desperately now. Air bubbles into the jello but does not break the surface. Pressing up, the surface distends, stretching like a red rubber cocoon. Unable to breathe, he fights wildly to stand, clawing at the thinning elastic shroud until it ruptures, a hole widening around his mouth as he sucks for air. Tearing himself free, he emerges from the cell. It is Neo. He is bald and naked, his body slick with gelatin, dizzy, nauseous. He waits for his vision to focus. He is standing in an oval capsule of clear alloy filled with magenta gelatin, the surface of which is solidified like curdled milk. The IVs in his arm are plugged into outlets that appear to be grafted to his flesh. He feels the weight of another cable and reaches up to the back of his head where he finds an enormous coaxial plugged and locked into the base of his skull. He tries to pull it out, but it would be easier to pull off a finger. To either side, he sees other tube-shaped pods filled with magenta gelatin beneath the wax-like surface, pale and motionless. He sees other human beings. Fanning out in a circle, there are more, all connected to a center core, each capsule like a red, dimly glowing petal attached to a black metal stem. Above him, level after level, the stem rises seemingly forever. He moves to the foot of the capsule and looks out. The image assaults his mind. Towers of glowing petals spiral up to the incomprehensible heights, disappearing down into a dim murk like an underwater abyss. His sight is blurred and warped, exaggerating the intensity of the vision. The sound of the planet is like the sound of the ocean heard from inside the belly of Leviathan. From above, a machine drops directly in front of Neo. He swallows a scream as it seems to stare at him. It is almost insect-like in its design. Beautiful housings of alloyed metal covering organic-like systems of hard and soft polymers. The machine seizes hold of Neo, paralyzing him as the cables lock at the back of his neck spins and opens. The cable disengages itself. A long, clear plastic needle and cerebrum chip slides from the anterior of Neo's skull with an ooze of blood and spinal fluid. The other connective hoses snap free and snake away as the machine lets Neo go. Suddenly, the back of the unit opens in tremendous vacuum, like an airplane door opening, sucks the gelatin and then Neo into a black hole. The pipe is a waste disposal system, and Neo falls, sliding with the clot of gelatin, banking through pipe spirals and elbows, flushing up through the grease traps clogged with oily clumps of cellulite. Neo begins to drown when he is suddenly snatched from the flow of waste. The metallic cable then lifts, pulling him up into the belly of the futuristic flying machine hovering inside the sewer main. Metal harness opens and drops the half-conscious Neo onto the floor. Human hands and arms help him up as he finds himself looking straight at Morpheus. He smiles. Morpheus.
Welcome to the real world, Neo.
Neo passes out. Inside the hovercraft, we have no sense of time. We hear voices whispering.
Done it, Trinity. We found him.
I hope you're right.
I don't have to hope it. I know it.
Neo's eyes flutter open. We see Morpheus's face above us, angelic in the fluorescent glow of a light stick.
Am I dead?
Far from it.
Fade to black. Hovercraft infirmary. He opens his eyes again. Something tingling through him. He focuses and sees his body pierced with dozens of acupuncture-like needles wired to a strange device.
He still needs a lot of work.
What are you doing?
Your muscles have atrophied. We're rebuilding them.
Why do my eyes hurt?
You've never used them before.
Morpheus closes Neo's eyes and Neo lays back.
Rest, Neo. The answers are coming.
Neo wakes up from a deep sleep. Feeling better, he begins to examine himself. There is a futuristic IV plugged into the jack in his forearm. He pulls it out, staring at the grafted outlet. He runs his hand over the short hair now covering his head. His fingers find and explore the large outlet in the base of his skull. Just as he starts to come unglued, Morpheus opens the door.
Morpheus, what's happened to me? What is this place?
More important than what is when.
When?
You believe the year is 1997, but in fact it is much closer to 2197. I can't say for certain what year it is because we honestly do not know. There's no reason for me to try to explain it when I could simply show it. Come with me.
Like a sleepwalker, Neo follows Morpheus through the ship.
This is my ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. It's a hovercraft. Small like a submarine. It's cramped and cold, but it's home.
They climb a ladder up to the main deck. Everyone is there.
This is the main deck. You know most of my crew. Ones you don't know, that's Mouse, Cypher, Switch. Those two guys, Tank and Dozer. And this is the core. This is where we broadcast our pirate signal and hack into the Matrix.
It is a swamp of bizarre electronic equipment. Vines of coaxial hang and snake to and from huge monolithic battery slabs, a black portable satellite dish, and banks of life systems and computer monitors. At the center of the web, there are 6 ectoskeleton chairs made of a polyalloy frame and suspension harness. Near the circle of chairs is the control console and operator station where the network is monitored.
You want to know what the Matrix is, Neo? The answer is right here.
He touches the back of Neo's head.
Help him, Trinity.
Neo allows himself to be helped into one of the chairs. He feels Morpheus guiding a coaxial line into the jack at the backs of his neck. The cable is the same kind of cerebrum chip we saw inside the plant.
This will feel a little weird.
There are several disturbing noises as he works the needle in. We move in as Neo's shoulders bunch and his face tightens into a grimace until a loud click fires and his ears pop like when you equalize them underwater. He relaxes, opening his eyes as we pull back to a feeling of weightlessness inside another place. Neo is standing in an empty, blank, white space.
I think we've gone over the end of Act 1. So that's probably a good place to pause, because I think the end of Act 1 was supposed to be Welcome to the Real World. If I remember the notes correctly, Lance.
Let me turn on the camera. Hey, can I just say one thing? Oh my god, I thought this was going to be cute or just like a fun way to raise some money, but I'm like, this is so much fun!
Neo is standing in an empty, blank, white space.
This is the construct.
Startled, Neo whips around and finds Morpheus now in the room with him.
It is our loading program. We can load anything from clothes to weapons to training simulations, anything we need.
Morpheus walks past Neo, and when Neo turns, he sees the 2 leather chairs from the Hotel Lafayette set up in front of a large screen television.
Sit down.
Right now, we're inside a computer program?
Is it so hard to believe? Your clothes are different. The plugs in your arms and head are gone. Look at your hair. You were bald a moment ago. It's what we call residual self-image, the mental projection of your electronic self. Wild, isn't it?
This isn't real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you feel, taste, smell, or see, then real is simply electric signals interpreted by your brain.
Picks up a remote control and clicks on the television. On the television, we see images of the 20th century city where Neo lived.
This is the world you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neutral interactive simulation that we call the Matrix.
He changes the channel and we see a very different city as we enter the television.
You have been living inside a dream world, Neo. As in Baudrillard's vision, your whole life has been spent inside the map, not the territory. This is the world as it exists today.
In the distance, we see the ruins of a future city protruding from the wasteland like the blackened ribs of a long-dead corpse.
The desert of the real.
Beneath us, the water is gone. We turn and descend, spiraling down toward the lake bed, which is scorched and split like burnt flesh, where we find Morpheus and Neo. Neo clings to the chair, trying to get his bearings.
We only have bits and pieces of information. What we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. Through the blinding inebriation of hubris, we marveled at our magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
Yes, a singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. I must say, I find it almost funny to imagine the world slapping itself on the back, toasting the new age. I say almost funny.
He looks up and his sunglasses reflect the obsidian clouds rolling overhead.
We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we do know it was us that scorched the sky. At the time, they were dependent on solar power. It was believed they would be unable to survive without an energy source as abundant as the sun.
As we descend into the circular window of his glasses, there is a flash of lightning.
Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony.
On the flash, we pull back from the darkness, which reveals itself to be the black eye of a fetus.
The machines discovered a new form of fusion. All they needed was a small electrical charge to initiate the reaction.
The fetus is suspended in a placenta-like husk, where its malleable skin is already growing around the brain jack.
The human body generates more than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat.
The husk hanging from a stalk is plucked by a thresher, like farm machine.
There are fields, endless fields, where human beings are no longer born. We are grown.
We rise up, the field stretching in every direction to the horizon, lightning tearing open the sky as a harvester sweeps past us. From the yawning black of the waste port, we begin to pull back as it snaps shut. Red amniotic gel flows into the pod below us, pooling around a tiny newborn that suckles its feed tube.
For the longest time, I wouldn't believe it. But then I saw the fields with my own eyes, watched them liquefy the dead so that they could feed intravenously to the living, and standing there, facing the efficiency, the pure, horrifying precision, I came to realize the obviousness of the truth.
Still pulling back, we see the image of the power plant now on the television as we return to the white space of the construct. Morpheus steps into view as he clicks off the television.
What is the Matrix? Control.
He opens the back of the television remote control.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
He holds up a copper-top battery.
No. I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say that it would be easy, Neo. I just said that it would be the truth.
Stop. Let me out. I want out.
His eyes snap open as he thrashes against the chair, trying to rip the cable from the back of his neck.
Get this thing out of me.
Trinity. We need Trinity on the set. Trinity on the stage.
Easy, Neo.
Dozer holds him while Trinity unlocks it. Once it's out, he tears away from them, falling as he trips free of the harness.
Don't touch me. Get away from me.
On his hands and knees, he reels as the world spins. Sweat pours off him as a pressure builds inside his skull, as if his brain had been put into a centrifuge.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Cypher.
He's gonna pop.
He's gonna pop. Sorry, I was on mute.
Vomiting violently, Neo pitches forward and blacks out. He blinks, regaining consciousness. The room is dark. Neo is stretched out on his bed.
I can't go back, can I?
Morpheus is sitting like a shadow on a chair in the far corner.
No. But if you could, would you really want to? I feel that I owe you an apology. There is a rule that we do not free a mind once it reaches a certain age. It's dangerous. They have trouble letting go. Their mind turns against them. I've seen it happen. I'm sorry. I broke the rules because I had to. When the Matrix was first built, there was a man born inside that had the ability to change what he wanted, to remake the Matrix as he saw fit. It was this man that freed the first of us and taught us the truth. As long as the Matrix exists, the human race will never be free. He died. The Oracle prophesied his return and envisioned that his coming would hail the destruction of the Matrix, an end to the war and freedom for our people. That is why there are those of us that have spent our entire lives searching the Matrix, looking for him. I did what I did because I believe the search is over. Get some rest. You're gonna need it.
For what?
Your training.
There is no morning. There is only darkness, and then the fluorescent light sticks flicker on. Neo is awake in his bed, staring up at the lights. The door opens and Tank steps inside.
Morning. Did you sleep?
No.
You will tonight. I guarantee it. I'm Tank. I'll be your operator.
He offers his hand and Neo shakes it. He notices that Tank doesn't have any jacks.
You don't have...
Any holes? Nope. Me and my brother Dozer, we are 100% pure, old-fashioned, homegrown human. Born free, right here in the real world. Genuine child of Zion.
Zion?
If this war ended tomorrow, Zion is where the party would be.
It's a city.
The last human city. The only place we got left.
Where is it?
Deep underground. Near the Earth's core, where it's still warm. You live long enough, you might even see it. God damn, I gotta tell you, I am fairly excited to see what you are capable of. I mean, if Morpheus is right and all, we're not supposed to talk about any of that, but if you are, well, then this is an exciting time. We got a lot to do, so let's get to it.
Neo is plugged in, hanging one of the suspension chairs.
We're supposed to load all these operation programs first, but this is some major boring. Why don't we start with something a little more fun?
Tank smiles as he plops into his operator's chair. He begins flipping through a tall carousel loaded with microdiscs.
How about some combat training?
Neo reads the label on the disc.
Jiu-jitsu? I'm going to learn jiu-jitsu?
Tank slides the disc into Neo's supplement drive.
No way.
Smiling, Tank punches the load code. His body jumps against the harness as his eyes clamp shut. The monitors kick wildly as his heart pounds, adrenaline surges, and his brain sizzles. An instant later, his eyes snap open.
Holy shit!
Hey, Mikey likes it. Ready for more?
Hell yes!
Close on a computer monitor as gray pixels slowly fill a small, half-empty box. It is a meter displaying how much download time is left. The title bar reads, Combat Series 10 of 12. File categories flashing beneath it. Savate, Jiu-Jitsu, Kenpo, Drunken Boxing. Morpheus walks in.
Turb, that's you.
Morpheus to stage 1. Morpheus.
How is he?
10 hours straight. He's a machine.
Neo's body spasms and relax as his eyes open, breath hissing from his lips. He looks like he just orgasmed.
This is incredible. I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
Okay, pause.
They are
Sir, can you
standing
take a look
in
at
very-
you're about to be on? Just check one stage direction, sorry.
They're standing in a very sparse Japanese-style dojo.
This is a sparring program, similar to the program reality of the Matrix. It has the same basic rules. Rules like gravity. What you must learn is that these rules are no different than the rules of a computer system. Some of them can be bent, others can be broken. Understand?
Neo nods as Morpheus assumes a fighting stance.
Then hit me, if you can.
Neo assumes a similar stance, cautiously circling until he gives a short cry and launches a furious attack. It is like a Jackie Chan movie at high speed, fists and feet striking from every angle as Neo presses his attack, but each and every blow is blocked by effortless speed. While their man's battle in the programmed reality, the two bodies appear quite serene, suspended in the drive chairs. Tank monitors their life systems, noticing that Neo is wildly and chaotically lit up as opposed to the slow and steady rhythms of Morpheus. Mouse bursts into the room, interrupting dinner.
Morpheus is fighting Neo!
All at once, everyone bolts for the door. In the dojo, Neo's face is knotted, teeth clenched, as he hurls himself at Morpheus.
Good. Adaptation. Improvisation. But your weakness isn't your technique.
Morpheus attacks him, and it is like nothing we have seen. His feet and fists are everywhere, taking Neo apart. For every blow Neo blocks, 5 more hit their mark until Neo falls. Panting on his hands and knees, blood spits from his mouth, speckling the white floor of the dojo.
How did I beat you?
You're too fast.
Do you think my being faster, stronger, has anything to do with my muscles in this place? Do you believe that's air you're breathing now? Again.
Their fists fly with pneumatic speed. Everyone is gathered behind Tank, watching the fight, like watching a game of Mortal Kombat.
Jesus Christ, he's fast. Look at his neurokinetics. They're way above normal.
Morpheus begins to press Neo, countering blows while slipping in several stinging slaps.
Come on, Neo. What are you waiting for? You're faster than this. Don't think you are. Know you are.
Whack. Morpheus cracks Neo again, Neo's face twisting with rage as the speed of the blows rises like a drum solo.
Come on. Stop trying to hit me and just hit me.
Wham! A single blow catches Morpheus on the side of the head, knocking off his glasses. On the main deck, there are several gasps.
I don't believe it.
In the dojo, Morpheus rubs his face, then smiles.
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to free your mind, Neo. But all I can do is show you the door. You're the one that has to step through. Tank, load the jump program.
In the hovergraph, Apoc and Switch exchanged looks as Tank grabs for the disc. On the rooftop in the construct, Morpheus and Neo are again in the white space of the construct. Beneath their feet, we see the jump program rush up at them until they are standing on a rooftop in a city's skyline.
Let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, disbelief. Free your mind.
Morpheus spins, running hard at the edge of the rooftop, and jumps. He sails through the air, his coat billowing out behind him like a cape as he lands on the rooftop across the street.
Shit.
Neo looks down at the street, 20 floors below. Then at Morpheus, an impossible 50 feet away.
Okie dokie. Free my mind. Right. No problem.
He takes a deep breath and starts to run. On the main deck, they are transfixed.
What if he makes it? Mike, that's you. Apoc.
No way, not possible.
No one's ever made their first jump.
I know, but what if he does?
He won't.
Go on.
Summoning every ounce of strength in his legs, Neo launches himself into the air in a single maniacal shriek, but comes up drastically short. His eyes widen as he plummets. Stories fly by, the ground rushing up at him, but as he hits, the ground gives way, stretching like a trapeze net. He bounces and flips, slowly coming to a rest, flat on his back. He laughs, a bit unsure, wiping the wind-blown tears from his face. Morpheus exits the building and helps him to his feet.
Do you know why you didn't make it?
Because I didn't think I would.
Morpheus smiles and nods. In the main deck, they break up.
What does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Everyone falls the first time, right, Trinity?
But Trinity has already left. Neo's eyes open as Tank eases the plug out. He tries to move and groans, cradling his ribs while Tank helps Morpheus. Neo spits blood into his hand.
I thought it wasn't real.
Your mind makes it real.
If you're killed in the Matrix, do you die here?
The body cannot live without the mind.
In Neo's room, Trinity enters from the hall, carrying a tray of food.
Neo, I saved you some dinner.
She sees him passed out on the bed. She sets the tray down and pulls the blanket over him. She pauses, her face close to his, then inhales lightly, breathing in the scent of him before slowly pulling away. In the hall, Trinity steps out of Neo's room to find Cypher watching her.
I don't remember you bringing me dinner. There's something about him, isn't there?
Don't tell me you're a believer now.
I keep wondering if Morpheus is so sure, why doesn't he take him to the Oracle? She would
Morpheus
know.
will take him when he's ready.
She turns and he watches her walk away. Morpheus moves effortlessly through a crowded downtown street while Neo struggles to keep up, constantly bumped and shouldered off the path.
The Matrix is a system, Neo, and that system is our enemy. But when you are inside and you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, lawyers, teachers, carpenters, the mind of the very people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of the system, and that makes them our enemy.
A cop writing a parking ticket stares at Neo from behind his sunglasses.
You have to understand that most of these people are not ready to be unplugged, and many of them are so inured and so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it.
A beautiful woman in a red dress smiles at Neo as she passes by.
Were you listening to me, Neo, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
I was...
Look again.
Neo turns just as Agent Smith levels a gun at his face.
Freeze it.
Everything except Morpheus and Neo freezes.
This isn't the Matrix?
No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you're one of them.
What are they?
Sentient programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone that we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent inside the Matrix. They are inside the Matrix. They are everyone and they are no one. We survived by hiding from them, running from them, but they are the gatekeepers. They're guarding all the doors, holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight.
One?
I won't lie to you, Neo. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, who has fought against an agent, has died. But where they failed, you will succeed.
Why?
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air, yet their strength and their speed are still based on a world that is built by fools. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
What are you trying to tell me, that I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
Morpheus' cell
We've
phone
got
rings and he flips it open.
We got trouble.
The Nebuchadnezzar blisters by, trailing a swirling, supercharged electromagnetic wake. Morpheus slides into the cockpit's co-pilot's chair next to Dozer.
Did Zion send the warning?
Do you want me to cover Dozer so you're not speaking to yourself? Turp? Or are you gonna do Dozer? Turp?
Did Zion send the warning?
Okay.
Oh.
Do you want me to cover Dozer, or do you want to do Dozer? That's what I'm asking.
You could do Dozer.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. I was.
No, another ship. Big Brother, I think. They're running a parallel line. Pipeline.
Morpheus scans the decayed landscape of the sewer main that rolls by as Neo and Trinity squeeze into the cockpit behind him. An alarm begins to sound.
Shit. Squiddy's sweeping in quick.
Set it down in there.
Squiddy?
Sentinel. It's a killing machine designed for one thing.
Search and destroy.
Neo feels the ship rock to the side as it squeezes into a tiny supply line. The Nebuchadnezzar sets down, almost wedged into a pipe that barely accommodates its size. Morpheus clicks the intercom.
How we doing, Tank?
Tank works furiously at the operator's station as the ceaseless whir of the ship's turbines grind to a halt. The main deck is plunged into dark silence. The rest of the crew stands behind him as he whispers.
Power offline. EMP armed and ready.
Tank's fingers curl around a small key that glows a dim red. Neo leans in Trinity's ear.
EMP?
You're muted. Trinity, you're
Can you
muted.
Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. Let me do it again. An electromagnetic pulse. It disables any electrical system in the blast radius. It's the only weapon we have against the machines.
No, we wait.
Through the cockpit's windshield, the vast cavern of the sewer main yawns before them. Strands of green haze curl round mossy icicles that dangle into a pool of churning frozen waste. Neo begins to angle around Dozer, but Morpheus grabs him.
Don't move. It'll hear you.
Neo freezes and they wait. Without the Nebuchadnezzar's heating systems, the temperature in the cockpit begins to rapidly drop. The crew members huddle together, their breath freezing into a uniform cloud as it gets colder and colder. Dozer quietly reaches to brush away the frost on the windshield as his hand clears a swath. They see it. In the darkness, a shifting shadow of mechanized death. It is beautiful and terrifying. Black alloy skin flickers like sequins beneath sinewy coils and skeletal appendages. Neo can feel the hairs on the back of his neck raise as it silently glides over them with shark-like malevolence until it disappears into the darkness. In the frozen little room, everyone breathes a little easier. The ship is quiet and dark. Everyone is asleep. The core glows with monitor light. Cypher is in the operator's chair as Neo comes up behind him.
Turb cam off. Cypher cam on.
Okay.
Jessie, you're up.
Cypher. I'm gonna cover
Jessie
Cypher
or
for this scene.
Cypher to stage
Jessie's,
one.
Jesse's Discord's crashed. I'm gonna cover Cypher for the scene. Whoa, shit, Neo. You scared the bejesus out of me.
Sorry.
Nah, it's alright.
Neo's eyes light up as he steps closer to the screens that seem alive with a constant flow of data.
Is that...
The Matrix, yeah.
Neo stares at the endlessly shifting river of information, bizarre codes and equations flowing across the face of the monitor.
Do you always look at it encoded?
Have to. The image translators sort of work for the construct programs, but there's way too much information to decode the Matrix. You get used to it, though. Your brain does the translating. Don't even see the code. All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead. You want a drink?
Neo nods and he pours a clear alcohol from a plastic jug.
Jessie's back.
Jessie back. Apologies. Sorry, my camera died. Where are we at? Sorry.
You know, I know.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're thinking, because right now I'm thinking the same thing. Actually, to tell you the truth, I've been thinking the same thing ever since I got here. Why, oh why, didn't I take that blue pill?
He throws the shot down his throat. Neo does the same and it almost kills him. Smiling, Cypher slaps him on the back.
Good shit, eh? Dozer makes it. Good for two things. Degreasing engines and killing the brain cells. Can I ask you something? Did he happen to tell you why he did it? Why you're here?
Yeah.
Jesus, what a mind job. You're here to save the world. You gotta be shitting me. What do you say to something like that? I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. Now, don't tell him that I told you this, but this ain't the first time Morpheus thought he found the one.
Really?
You bet your ass. It keeps him going. Maybe keeps all of us going.
How many were there?
5. Since I've been here.
What happened to them?
Dead. All dead.
How?
Honestly, Morpheus. He got them all amped up believing in bullshit. I watched each of them take on an agent, and I watched each of them die. Little piece of advice, you see an agent, you do what we do. Run. Run your little ass off.
Thanks for the drink.
Anytime. Sweet dreams.
In a restaurant at night, chamber music and the ambiance of wealth soak the restaurant around us as we watch a serrated knife saw through a thick, gorgeous steak. The meat is so perfect, charred on the outside, oozing red juice from the inside, that it could be a dream. We hear a voice that we recognize immediately.
We have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
A fork stabs the cube of meat and we follow it up to the face of Cypher.
Jessie, you're muted.
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it's juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I've realized? Ignorance is bliss. So goddamn good.
Then we have a deal.
I don't want to remember nothing. Nothing. You understand? And I want to be rich. Someone important. Like an actor. You can do that, right?
Whatever you want, Mr. Reagan.
All right, well, You get my body back in a power plant, reinsert me into the Matrix, and I'll get you what you want.
Access codes to the Zion mainframe.
I told you I don't need them. Told you I don't know them. But I can get you the man who does.
Morpheus.
In the mess hall, close on breakfast, a substance with a consistency somewhere between yogurt and cellulite.
Here you go, buddy. Breakfast of champions.
Tank slides it in front of Neo and takes a seat with the other crew members, enjoying breakfast.
You mean the breakfast, lunch, and dinner of champions?
If you close your eyes, it almost feels like you're eating runny eggs.
Or a bowl of snot?
Do you know what it really reminds me of? Cream of wheat. Did you ever eat cream of wheat?
No, but technically neither did you.
Exactly my point. Because you have to wonder, how do the machines know what cream of wheat really tasted like? Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe what I think cream of wheat tasted like actually tasted like oatmeal or tuna fish. It makes you wonder about a lot of things. Take chicken, for example. Maybe they couldn't figure out what to make chicken taste like, which is why chicken tastes like everything. And maybe...
Shut up, mouse.
It's a single-cell protein combined with synthetic aminos, vitamins, and minerals. Everything your body needs. We grow it in a vat.
Oh no, it doesn't have everything the body needs. So I understand you've run through the agent training program. You know, I wrote that program.
Here it comes.
So what did you think of her?
Of who?
The woman in the red dress. I designed her. She doesn't talk much, but if you'd like to, you know, meet her, I could arrange a more personalized milieu.
Digital pimp hard at work.
Pay no attention to these hypocrites, Neo. To deny our impulses is to deny the very thing that makes us human.
Derp, that's you. Yeah. You're gonna see my little cousin, but I want everyone on 12-hour standby. We're going in. I'm taking Neo to see her.
See who?
The Oracle.
On the deck, everyone is strapped into their chairs. Tank is at the operator station.
All right, everybody, please observe the no smoking sign. Fasten seatbelt signs have been turned on. Sit back and enjoy your flight.
He strikes the enter key and we rush clockwise over the chairs, each body reacting as we cut to the Hotel Lafayette, room 1313, spinning counterclockwise around an old phone that rings inside the empty room until we spin full circle and find everyone now standing there. Morpheus answers the phone.
We're in.
The door opens, and for the first time since his release, Neo steps back into the Matrix. He squints at the sun, which seems unnaturally bright. He is the only one without sunglasses. Apoc and Switch remain at the door as the others enter the alley.
We should be back in an hour.
Cypher opens the driver's door of an old car as Trinity, Morpheus, and Neo cross to the car. Cypher glances about quickly, then drops something inside a garbage can. It is a cellular phone, and we see its blue display as the line connects. In the car, Neo sits beside Trinity in the back. He cannot stop staring at this as the simple image of the urban street blur past his window like an endless stream of data rushing down a computer screen.
Almost unbelievable, isn't it?
Neo nods as the car continues to wind through the crowded city.
God.
What?
I used to eat there. Really good noodles. I have these memories from my entire life, but none of them really happened. What does that mean?
That the Matrix cannot tell you who you are.
But an oracle can.
That's different.
Obviously. Did you go to her?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She told me
What?
The car suddenly jerks to a stop.
Morpheus.
Oh, sorry, I have to take over real quick. We should be back in an hour. I think that's line. I'm sorry. No.
No, we're
I got lost
yeah.
trying to keep track of a billion things.
The next line is "We're here, Neo. Come with me."
We're here now. Come with me.
Neo and Morpheus get out of the car. Cypher looks into the rearview mirror at Trinity.
Cypher.
You're muted.
Here we go again, Atron.
He smiles as she turns to the window. Tenement-like and vast, this building is the kind of place where people can disappear. Morpheus nods to a blind man who nods back. An elevator opens and Neo follows Morpheus inside. The idea of learning one's fate begins to weigh upon Neo with a steadily growing unease.
So is this the same oracle that made the prophecy?
Yes. She's very old. She's been with us since the beginning.
The beginning.
Of the resistance.
And she knows what? Everything?
She would say she knows enough.
And she's never wrong.
Don't think of it in terms of right and wrong. She's a guide, Neo. She can help you find the path.
She helped you.
Yes.
What did she tell you?
That I would find the one.
Ding! The elevator opens. The long, dark hall beckons. Neo follows Morpheus out of the elevator and the doors rattle shut behind him. With every step, a disturbing sense of inevitability closes in around him. At the end of the hall, Morpheus steps to the side of a door.
I told you that I can only show you the door. You have to step through it.
Neo blows out a breath. His hand reaches but stops, hovering over the spherical handle. He backs away.
Morpheus, I don't think this is a good idea.
Why?
I told you I don't believe in this stuff. No matter what she says, I'm not going to believe it. So what's the point?
What do you believe in?
What do I believe in? Are you kidding me? What do you think? The world I grew up in isn't real. My entire life was a lie. I don't believe in anything anymore.
That's why we're here.
Why? So I can hear some old lady tell me what? That I'm this guy that everybody's been waiting for? That I'm supposed to save the world? It sounds insane, unbelievable. And I don't care who says it, it's still going to sound insane and unbelievable.
Faith is not a matter of reasonability. I do not believe things with my mind, I believe them with my heart, in my gut.
And you believe I'm the one?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? What about the other 5 guys? The 5 before me? What about them? Did you believe in them too?
I believed what the Oracle told me. No, I misunderstood what she told me. I believed that it was all about me. I believed that all I had to do was point my finger and anoint whoever I choose. I was wrong, Neo, terribly wrong. Not a day or night passes that I do not think of them. After the 5th, I lost my way. I doubted everything the Oracle had said. I doubted myself. And then I saw you, Neo, and my world changed. You can call it an epiphany. You can call it whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. It's not about a word. It's about this. So I can't explain it to you. All I can do is believe, Neo. Believe that one day you will feel what I felt and know what I know. You are the 6th and the last. You are the one. Until that time, all I am asking from you is for you to hold on to whatever respect you may have for me and trust me.
All right.
He reaches for the handle, which turns without him even touching it. A woman wearing white opens the door.
Hello, Neo. You're right on time.
Inside Oracle's apartment, it seems perfectly normal.
Make yourself at home, Morpheus.
Thank you.
Neo, come with me.
She leads Neo down another hall and into what appears to be a family room. There is another woman in white sitting on a couch watching a soap opera. Scattered about the room are a half dozen children. Some of them are playing, others are deep in meditation. All of them exude a kind of zen calm.
These are the other potentials. You can wait here.
Neo watches a little girl levitate wooden alphabet blocks. Closer to him, a skinny boy with a shaved head holds a spoon which sways like a blade of grass. In front of him is a pile of spoons bent and twisted into knots. Neo crosses to him and sits. The boy smiles and hands Neo the spoon, which is now perfectly straight.
Do not try to bend the spoon. That is impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
That there is no spoon.
There is no spoon.
Then you will see. It is not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself.
The entire room is reflected inside the spoon, and as Neo stares into it, it slowly begins to bend until a hand touches his shoulder.
Priestess?
Yeah, who's the priestess?
Oh, sorry. The Oracle will see you now.
The spoon
I
boy
forgot there was one
smiles. They go into the kitchen. An old woman is huddled beside the oven, peering inside through a cracked door.
Hello?
I know, you're Neo. Be right with you.
You're the Oracle?
Bingo. Not quite what you were expecting, right? I gotta say, I love seeing you non-believers. Always a pip. Almost done. Smell good, don't they?
Yeah.
I'd ask you to sit down, but you're not going to anyway. And don't worry about the vase.
What vase?
He turns to look around as his elbow knocks a vase from the table. It breaks against the linoleum floor.
That vase.
Shit. I'm sorry.
She pulls out a tray of chocolate chip cookies and turns. She is an older woman, wearing big oven mitts, comfortable slacks, and a print blouse. She looks like someone's grandma.
I said don't worry about it. I'll get one of my kids to fix it.
How did you know?
What's really going to bake your noodle later on is would you have still broken it if I hadn't said anything? You're cuter than I thought. I see why she likes you.
Who?
Not too bright, though. You know why Morpheus brought you to see me. So, what do you think? You think you're the one?
Honestly? I don't know.
You know what that means? It's Latin. It means know thyself. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. Nobody can tell you're in love. You just know it. Through and through. Balls to bones. Well, I better have a look at you. Open your mouth. Say ah. Okay, now I'm supposed to say, that's interesting. And then you say.
But what?
But you already know what I'm going to tell you.
I'm not the one.
Sorry, kid. You got the gift. It looks like you're waiting for something.
What?
Your next life, maybe. Who knows? That's how these things go. What's funny?
Morpheus. He almost had me convinced.
I know. Poor Morpheus. Without him, we are lost.
What do you mean, without him?
Are you sure you want to hear this? Morpheus believes in you, Neo. And no one, not you or even me, can convince him otherwise. He believes it so blindly that he's going to sacrifice his life to save yours.
What?
You're going to have to make a choice. On one hand, you will have Morpheus's life. In the other, you will have your own. One of you is going to die. Which one? It'll be up to you. I'm sorry, kiddo. I really am. You have a good soul, and I hate giving and I hate giving good people bad news. But don't worry. As soon as you walk outside that door, you'll start feeling better. Remember that you don't believe in any of this fake crap. You're in control of your own life, remember? Here, take a cookie. I promise by the time you're done eating it, you'll feel right as rain.
Neo takes a cookie, the tightness in his chest slowly beginning to fade. In the sitting room, Morpheus rises from a couch as the priestess escorts Neo out. When they are alone, Morpheus puts his hand on Neo's shoulder.
You don't have to tell anyone what she told you. What was said was for you, and you alone. Let's go.
Neo nods and takes a bite of his cookie. Outside, Neo and Morpheus get into the car.
Let's go.
Well, good news or bad news?
Not now, Cypher.
Cypher stops the car in gear and pulls into traffic. Trinity looks at Neo, who is staring at the final bit of cookie. He puts it in his mouth and chews.
Trinity.
Are you all right?
Right as rain.
In room 1313, Mouse's cellular rings.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
They're on their way.
On the city street, as they get out of the car, Cypher smiles at Neo.
Like the man says, welcome to the real world.
Cypher, following the others into the hotel, nervously glances around, wiping the sweat from his forehead. On the main deck of the ship, sweat rolls down Cypher's face and neck. At the operator station, Tank is typing rapidly.
Tank?
What is that?
In Hotel Lafayette, light filters down the throat of the building through a caged skylight at the top of the open elevator shaft. 6 figures glide up the dark stairs that wind around the antique elevator. Neo notices a black cat, a yellow green-eyed shadow that slinks past them and pads quickly down the stairs. A moment later, Neo sees another black cat that looks and moves identically to the first one.
Whoa. Deja vu.
Those words stop the others dead in their tracks. On the Nebuchadnezzar, the monitors suddenly glitch as though the Matrix had an electronic seizure.
Oh,
In Hotel Lafayette, Trinity turns around, her face tight.
What did you just say?
Nothing. Just had a little deja vu.
What happened? What did you see?
A black cat went past us, and then I saw another that looked just like it.
How much like it? Was it the same cat?
It might have been. I'm not sure.
Trinity looks at Morpheus, who listens quietly to the rasping breath of the old building.
What is it?
Something was you.
Trinity, I don't think we're getting any of your audio.
You,
Turn towards the mic, maybe?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you look over here, we can't hear you. We can hear you when you look at your mic. So just keep the head slightly to the left, I guess. Sorry.
I always think what happens when I change something.
Do you want to try again?
Did you not hear
Now
me?
we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
Okay, a deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something.
She also listens as the staccato beat of helicopter blades grows ominously loud. When the main deck, Tank sees what has changed.
It's a trap!
And the staircase, Morpheus looks up the stairs as he hears a helicopter.
Come on!
Apoc slaps a gun into Neo's hand.
Something to ward off the evil spirits.
Neo nods, stuffing it into his belt. In the basement, a heavy bolt cutter snapped through the main phone cable. In room 1313, hearing the helicopter, Mouse goes to the draped windows as his cellular rings. He answers it.
They cut the hard line. It's a trap. Get out!
Oh no.
The windows are bricked up. Mouse spins as the rumble of combat boots builds, then explodes into the room. On the main deck, Tank watches helplessly.
Tank.
No, no, no!
Morpheus stops as Mouse's scream is drowned out by the report of machine gun fire. In room 1313, Mouse sails backwards as bullets pound him against the blood-splattered brick wall. On the main deck, Mouse's body thrashes against its hardness, blood coughing from his mouth in one final spasm, then lying perfectly still. The flatline alarm softly cries out from the life monitor. In the stairwell flying down, Morpheus stops, hearing police swarming below. In the hall, he turns and rushes to the 8th floor. At the end of it, he finds the bricked-up windows.
That's what they changed. We're trapped. There's no way out.
Give me your phone.
Heavy bootsteps close around them with the mechanical sureness of a vice.
Give me your phone.
We'll track it.
We have no choice.
Morpheus rips off his jacket. On the main deck, Tank answers the call.
Tank.
Morpheus.
Tank, find a structural drawing of this building and find it fast.
Flashlights probe the rotting darkness as the police search every floor. The diagram windows onto the screen of the main deck.
Got it.
I need the main wet wall.
In room 1313, Agent Smith stands over Mouse's dead body, his hand going to his earpiece. In room 808, Morpheus is guided by Tank.
Now left. That's it, in front of you.
Good.
Agent Smith hears the line click dead.
Muted.
8th floor. They're on the 8th floor.
Agent Brown listens to his earpiece. Boosts clatter up the marble staircase. Cops flood the 8th floor, rushing everywhere. Several cops sweep through the room. Room 808, it's empty. As they pass the bathroom, we see a man-sized hole smashed through the plaster and lath. They are inside the main plumbing wall, slowly worming their way down the grease-black stack pipes. Above them, light fills the hole they made to get inside. Agent Brown and Agent Smith stand over Morpheus's jacket.
Where are they?
In room 608, the cops search in silence, straining for a clue when one hears something strange near the bathroom. In the wall, Cypher has slipped and is wedged between the wall and several thick supply pipes. In room 608, the cop leans in, his ear almost against the thin membrane of plaster separating them. You can hear whispers, hisses, and a grunt when the wall suddenly bulges, shatter cracking as the cop realizes
they're in the wall.
Trinity pulls Cypher free just as the cop opens fire, bullets punching shafts of light like swords into the box of soot-black space. Neo finds his gun first and begins blasting wildly through the plaster and lath. The cop spins out of the bathroom for cover, Neo's bullets splintering the door jamb. About to whirl back in, he freezes as something seems to seize hold of him. The cop's body starts to spasm and his M16 falls to the ground, long shadows springing up from the mounted flashlight. Neo listens for a moment. The gunfire quiet, when he hears footsteps rising fast. Two arms suddenly smash through the wall, punching Neo back against the iron stack pipe, fingers gouging into his neck.
It's an agent!
Just as Neo's throat is about to collapse, Morpheus explodes through the tattered plaster and lath, diving on top of Agent Smith. The two men crash to the wet terrazzo floor. Before Agent Smith can find his weapon, Morpheus is on him, pinning him in an iron grip. In the crawl space, Trinity tries to scramble up past Cypher.
Trinity! You must get Neo out. Do you understand? He has all that matters.
No. No, Morpheus, don't!
Trinity, go!
No!
We can't leave him.
We have to!
She grabs his ankle and they begin almost falling, using the lath as a brake, skidding down inside of the wall. This part of the basement, a dark concrete cavern, was the main mechanical room. There are 4 enormous boilers, dinosaur-like technology that once pumped hot water like arteries. Soldiers' blinding lights cut open the darkness as Trinity, Neo, and the others crash through the ceiling. Around them they hear a chorus of short, sharp coughs of grenade launchers from gas-masked figures. Smoke blossoms from the green metal canisters. Trinity never stops moving. Searching the floor, she finds what she needs, the cover of the catch basin. Cypher watches her pry open the grate when a can bounces near him.
Come on!
Cypher seems to trip as the cloud envelops him. Trinity watches Cypher disappear into the smoke, then follows the other down the wet black hole. In room 608, Morpheus and Agent Smith remain on the ground, locked in each other's death grip.
Great Morpheus, we made it last.
And you are?
Smith. Agent Smith.
You all look the same to me.
Agent Smith counters Morpheus and slowly begins to pry his hand from his throat. Striking like a viper, Morpheus drives a vicious headbutt into Agent Smith's face. His nose and glasses shatter. Agent Smith, unfazed, smiles, blood oozing from the shattered bridge of his nose, and returns Morpheus's headbutt with 3 of his own in pneumatic succession. Morpheus staggers back, his body going slack when another kick buries him deep into crouching plaster and lath. Morpheus turns in time to see a wall of men in the doorway.
Smith. Smith, it's your line.
Oh. I just missed that one. Sorry. Take him.
A wall of cops rushes Morpheus.
Now exit.
Filling the tiny bathroom until he disappears under the tide. On the main deck, Tank reaches out to the screen as if reaching for Morpheus.
No!
On the street, a manhole cover cracks open. 2 eyes peek out just as a truck rattles over it. The thunder dopplers away, and the cover opens. Trinity climbs out. On the main deck, Tank is again at the monitors, searching the matrix when the phone rings.
Tank.
Cypher?
I need an exit, fast!
Oh, shoot. Cypher?
Cypher is standing at a public phone. Across the street is the burning paddy wagon that appears to have collided with an oncoming car.
There was an accident, a goddamn car accident. All of a sudden, boom! Jesus, someone up there still likes me.
I got you.
Just get me out of here!
Nearest exit is Franklin and Erie, an old TV repair shop.
An actor. Definitely.
On the main deck, the phone rings. Tank answers.
Tank, it's me.
On the street, all 4 are moving quickly down a back street.
Is Morpheus alive?
Is Morpheus still alive, Tank?
Yes, they're moving him. I don't know where yet.
He's alive. We need an exit.
You're not far from Cypher.
Cypher. I thought...
So did we. I sent him to Franklin and Erie.
Got it.
In a deserted alley, Cypher steps onto a dumpster in front of a small, boarded-up window. In the TV repair shop, dead machines, eviscerated and shrouded with dust, lay on metal shelves like bodies in a morgue. Plywood covering a small window is ripped off, and Cypher crawls inside. Deep in the back room, a phone that has not rung in years begins to ring. On the street, Trinity sees the TV repair shop, and on the main deck, Tank punches the exit command.
Got him.
Cypher's body twitches in its harness, jerking itself awake. In the TV repair shop, Neo crawls through the window that Cypher opened. On the main deck, deck, Tank finishes loading the exit program as Cypher pulls back a heavy blanket, exposing a high-tech rifle. In the TV repair shop, the phone begins to ring as the others crawl in.
God, I love that sound.
On the main deck, suddenly, a white bolt of lightning explodes against Tank's chair, blasting him into the air. Cypher checks the gun, unable to believe he missed.
Shit!
Tank is on his feet, lunging when Cypher fires again, square into his chest.
No! No! Oh, wait, we switched roles, right?
Yeah.
In a TV repair shop, the phone is still ringing.
You first, Neo.
Neo answers the phone when there is a click. There is no signal. Nothing but silence.
What happened?
I don't know. It just went dead.
Trinity listens to the dead line and takes out the cellular. On the main deck, the operator phone begins to ring. Cypher steps over the sizzling body of Dozer and looks at the monitor. In the TV repair shop, every unanswered ring rings her gut a little tighter until...
Hello, Trinity.
Cypher, where's Tank?
He had an accident.
An accident?
On the main deck, Cypher walks over to Trinity's body, staring down at it, hanging in its coma-like stillness.
You know, for a long time, I thought I was in love with you, Trinity. I used to dream about you. You are a beautiful woman. Too bad things had to work out like this.
You killed him.
What?
Oh, God.
I'm tired, Trinity. I'm tired of this war. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of this ship, of being cold, of eating the same goddamn goop every day. But most of all, I'm tired of this jagoff and all of his bullshit. Surprise, asshole. But you never saw this coming, did you? God, I wish I could be there when they break you. I wish I could walk in just as it happens, so right then, you know it was me.
My God. Morpheus. You gave them Morpheus.
He lied to us, Trinity. He tricked us. If he would have told us the truth, we would have told him to shove that red pill up his ass.
That's not true, Cypher. He set us free.
Free? You call this free? All I do is what he tells me to do. If I have to choose between that and the Matrix, I choose the Matrix.
The Matrix isn't real.
Oh, I disagree, Trinity. I disagree. I think the Matrix can be more real than this world. I mean, all I do is pull a plug here. But there, you have to watch a man die.
Epoch, that's you, Mike.
Trinity?
He grabs hold of the cable in Apoch's neck, twists it, and yanks it out.
Welcome to the real world, baby!
Apoch seems to go blind for an instant, a scream caught in his throat, his hands reaching for nothing, and then falls dead.
Lumi, you're muted.
Still muted.
No!
Good now.
But you're out, Cypher. You can't go back.
That's what you think. They've promised to take me back. They're going to reinstate my body. I'll go back to sleep, and when I wake up, I'll be fat and rich and won't remember a goddamn thing. It's the American dream. By the way, if you have anything terribly important to say to Switch, I suggest you do it now.
Oh no, please don't.
Not like this. Not like this.
Too late.
God damn you, Cypher.
Don't hate me, Trinity. I'm just the messenger. And right now, I'm going to prove it to you. If Morpheus was right, then there's no way I can pull this plug, is there? If Neo is the one, then in the next few seconds, there has to be some kind of miracle to stop me, right? How can he be the one if he's dead? You never did answer me, Trinity, when I asked you before. Did you buy Morpheus's bullshit? Come on. You can tell me. Did you? All I want is a little yes or no. Look into his eyes, Trinity. Those big, pretty eyes, and tell me the truth. Yes or no?
Yes.
No! I don't believe it!
Tank.
Believe it or not, you piece of you're still gonna burn.
Fires a crackling bolt of lightning and knocks Cypher flying backwards. Trinity throws her arms around Neo, and for a moment, they are alone and alive until the phone rings.
Go. You first this time.
On the main deck, Trinity's eyes snap open, a sense of relief surging through her at the sight of the ship. As Tank unplugs her, she sees his charred wounds.
Tank, you're hurt.
We'll be all right.
Dozer?
Tank's face tightens, and she takes him into her arms. A government high-rise in the middle of downtown where a military helicopter sets down on the roof. Agent Jones gets out of the helicopter, flanked by columns of Marines. They open the roof access door and enter the top floor maintenance level of the hotel. Agent Smith stands, staring out the windows at the city below, shimmering with brilliant sunlight.
Act 3.
Oh,
Where are we starting from?
Page 91.
Yeah, Agent Smith's speech. Basically, I think it's just Smith and Morpheus on screen for now, and we don't have any narration to go. Actually, there's narration immediately above 91, like right.
I was gonna
right
set up the scene first, and then go to Agent Smith.
Okay.
Inside the executive office, Agent Smith stands, staring out the window at the city below, shimmering with brilliant sunlight.
You ever stood and stared at it, Morpheus? Marveled at its beauty, its genius? Billions of people just living out their lives, oblivious.
Morpheus is handcuffed to a chair. Stripped to the waist, he is alternately shivering and sweating, wired to various monitors with white discs, electrodes. Beside him, Agent Brown sucks a serum from a glass vial, filling a hypodermic needle.
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect world, where no one suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program, entire crops were lost. Some believed we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through suffering and misery. Perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this. The peak of your civilization. I say your civilization because as soon as we started thinking for you, it really became our civilization, which is, of course, what this is all about. Evolution. Evolution. Like the dinosaur, look out that window. You had your time. The future is our world, Morpheus. The future is our time. Double the dosage. Agent Jones to stage left.
Sorry, costume change. There could be a problem.
On the main deck, Tank drapes a sheet over his dead brother. The other bodies are covered. Neo looks at Morpheus, whose body is covered with a cold sweat.
What are they doing to him?
They're breaking into his mind. It's like hacking a computer. All it takes is time.
How much time?
Depends on the mind, but eventually it will crack, and his alpha pattern will change from this to this.
Tank punches several commands on Morpheus's personal unit. The monitor waves change from a chaotic pattern to an ordered, symmetrical one.
When it does, Morpheus will tell them anything they want to know.
What do they want?
The leader of every ship is given codes to Zion's mainframe computer. If an agent had those codes and got inside Zion's mainframe, they could destroy us. We can't let that happen, Trinity. Zion is more important than me, or you, or even Morpheus.
God damn it! God damn it!
There has to be something we can do.
There is. We have to pull the plug.
You're going to kill him? Kill Morpheus?
Trinity, we don't have any other choice.
In the government building, Morpheus is fighting to hold his mind together. The agents stand over him.
Never send a human to do a machine's job. Agent Brown?
Kyle.
Sorry. If indeed the insider has failed, they'll never sever the connection as soon as possible, unless...
Agent Jones?
Agent Jones. They are dead in either case.
We have no choice but to continue as planned. Deploy the Sentinels immediately.
On the main deck, Tank kneels beside Morpheus's body. Neo suddenly sees it perfectly clear. Fate rushing at him like an oncoming train.
Morpheus, you were more than our leader. You were a father. We will miss you. Always.
Trinity can't bear to watch. As she closes her eyes, her tears slip free. Tank closes his eyes and takes hold of the plug. Neo is paralyzed. His whole life is suddenly suspended by the finality of this moment, hurling at him with the speed of a bullet.
Stop.
God damn it, I don't believe this is happening.
That's definitely my line. God damn it. I don't believe this is happening.
Neo, this has to be done.
Does it? I don't know. This can't just be a coincidence. It can't be. Can it?
What are you talking about?
The Oracle. She told me this would happen. She told me that I would have to make a choice.
What choice? What choice?
He makes his choice. Turning, he walks to his chair.
What are you doing?
I'm going in.
You can't.
I have to.
Morpheus sacrificed himself so we could get you out. There's no way you're going back in.
Morpheus did what he did because he believed that I'm something I'm not.
What?
I'm not the one, Trinity. The Oracle hit me with that, too.
No, you have to be.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm just another guy. Morpheus is the one that matters.
No, Neo. That's not true. It can't be true.
Why?
Because
Neo, this is loco. They've got Morpheus in a military-controlled building. Even if you somehow got inside, those are agents holding him. 3 of them. I want Morpheus back too, but what you're talking about is suicide.
I know that's what it looks like, but it's not. I can't logically explain to you why it's not. Morpheus believed something and he was ready to give his life for what he believed. I understand that now. That's why I have to go.
Why?
Because I believe in something.
what?
I believe I can bring him back.
Trinity stares at him, hovering on the edge that he just jumped off. Her jaw sets, and she starts climbing into the chair beside him.
What are you doing?
Coming with you.
No, you're not.
No? Let me tell you what I believe. I believe Morpheus means more to me than he does to you. I believe that if you are serious about saving him, then you're going to need my help. And since I am the ranking officer on this ship, if you don't like it, then I believe that you can go to hell. Because you aren't going.
You cut out. Trinity?
Hello?
Now it's picking up. I think you just have to talk loud enough.
Tank, load us up.
Agent Smith sits casually across from Morpheus, who is hunched over, his body leaking and twitching.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species. I realized that you are not actually mammals. Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment, but you humans do not. You move to an area and you multiply until every last resource is consumed, and the only way you can survive is to spread to another area. Is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern? Do you know what it is, Morpheus? A virus. Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague. We are the cure.
Neo and Trinity stand in the white space of the construct as he answers his ringing cell phone.
Okay, what do you need? Besides a miracle.
Guns. Lots of guns.
Neo and Trinity's bodies hang motionless in their drive chairs as tank hits load. In the construct, racks of weapons appear and they begin to arm themselves.
No one has ever done anything like this.
Yeah. That's why it's going to work.
In the executive office, Agent Smith is again at the window.
Why isn't the serum working?
You're muted.
Perhaps we are asking the wrong questions.
Leave me with him. Now! You hear me, Morpheus? I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this place. This zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you want to call it, I can't stand it any longer. The smell, if there is such a thing, I feel saturated by it. I can taste your stink, and every time I do, I fear I've somehow been infected by it. Impulsive, isn't it? I must get out of here. I must get free, and in this mind is the key, my key. Once Zion is destroyed, there's no need for me to be here. Do you understand? I need the codes. I have to get inside Zion. You have to tell me how. You are going to tell me, or you're going to die.
On the main deck, Tank sits down beside Morpheus, whose face is ashen like someone near death. He takes hold of his hand.
Hold on, Morpheus. They're coming for you. They're coming.
A dark wind blows outside the government building. Inside, in long black coats, Trinity and Neo push through the revolving doors. Neo is carrying a duffel bag. Trinity has a large metal suitcase. They cut across the lobby to the security station, drawing nervous glances. Dark glasses, game faces. Neo calmly passes through the metal detector, which begins to wail immediately. A security guard moves over towards Neo, raising his metal detection wand.
Would you please remove any metallic items you are carrying? Keys, loose change.
Neo slowly sets down his duffel bag and opens his coat, revealing an arsenal of guns, knives, and grenades slung from a climbing harness.
Holy shit!
Neo is a blur of motion. In a split second, 3 guards are dead before they hit the ground. A 4th guard dives for cover, clutching his radio.
Backup! Send in the backup!
He looks up as Trinity sets off the metal detector. It is the last thing he sees. The backup arrives, a wave of soldiers blocking the elevators. The concrete cavern of the lobby becomes a white noise, roar of gunfire. Slate walls and pillars pop, crack, and crater under a hailstorm of explosive-tipped bullets. They are met by the quivering spit of the sub-hand machine gun and the razor whistle of throwing knives. Weapons like extensions of their bodies are used with the same deadly precision as their feet and their fists. Bodies slump down to the marbled floor while Neo and Trinity hardly even break their stride. In the executive office, Agents Jones and Brown burst into the room. Agent Smith releases Morpheus.
What were you doing?
You don't know. Lance, you muted.
Oh, really? Oh.
Now I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. No what?
Agent Smith listens to his earphone, not believing what he is hearing. The elevators they get in, Trinity immediately drops and opens the suitcase, wiring a plastique and napalm bomb. Neo hits the emergency stop. He pulls down part of the false ceiling and finds the elevator shaft across access panel. In the executive office, Agent Jones looks at Morpheus.
I think they're trying to save him.
In the elevator shaft, Neo ratchets down a clamp onto the elevator cable. Both of them lock on. He looks up the long, dark throat of the building and takes a deep breath.
There is no spoon.
Neo whips out his gun and presses it to the cable, lower than they attach themselves. Boom! The cable snaps. The counterweights plummet, yanking Trinity and Neo up through the shaft as the elevator falls away beneath them, descending space, filling it with the sound of whistling metal as they soar to the top. In the lobby, the elevator hits the bottom. Ba-boom! The massive explosion blows open the doors, fire clouds engulfing the elevator section of the lobby. In the executive office, the agents hear the blast of fire alarms.
Lower level.
They are actually attacking!
Another enormous explosion thunders above them, shaking the building. The alarm sounds. Emergency sprinklers begin showering the room. Agent Smith smashes a table.
Find them and destroy them!
Agent Jones nods and touches his earpiece. On the roof access tower is now engulfed in flames as Neo and Trinity stand amongst a pile of their fallen enemies. Across the roof, the pilot inside the army helicopter watches the last of their ferocious onslaught.
I repeat, we are under attack.
Suddenly his face, his whole body dissolves, consumed by the spreading locust-like swarm of static as Agent Jones emerges. Just as she drops the final Marine, Trinity sees what's coming. Neo sees her, the fear in her face, and he knows what is behind him. Screaming, he whirls, guns filling his hands with thought speed. Fingers pumping, shells ejecting, dancing up and away, we look through the sights and gun smoke at the agent blurred with motion, until the hammers click against the empty metal.
Trinity?
Agent Jones
Help!
charges. His gun booms as we enter the liquid space of bullet time. The air sizzles with wads of lead like angry flies as Neo twists, bends, ducks just between them. Agent Jones, still running, narrows the gap. The bullets coming faster until Neo, bent impossibly back, one hand on the ground as his spiraling gray ball shears open his shoulder. He starts to scream as another digs a red groove across his thigh. He has only time to look up to see Agent Jones standing over him, raising his gun a final time.
Only human.
Suddenly, Agent Jones stops. He hears a sharp metal click. Immediately, he whirls around and turns straight into the muzzle of Trinity's 45, jammed tight to his head.
Dodge this.
Boom, boom, boom. The body flies back with a flash of mercurial light, and when it hits the ground, it is the pilot. Trinity helps Neo up.
Neo, how did you do that?
Do what?
You move like they move. I've never seen anyone move that fast.
It wasn't fast enough.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Come on, we have to keep moving. Can you fly this thing?
Not yet.
On the hovercraft, Tank is back at the controls.
Operator.
Hank, I need a pilot program for a military B-212 helicopter. Hurry.
His fingers flash over the gleaming laser discs, finding one that he needs into Trinity, feeding ones he needs into Trinity's supplement drive, punching the load commands on her keyboard. On the roof, Trinity's eyes flutter as information surges into her brain, all the essentials of flying a helicopter absorbed at light speed.
Let's go.
In the executive office, Agent Jones throws open the door and enters, walking through the puddles pooling in the carpet. Over the rushing water and the alarms, Agent Smith hears a sound and understands the seriousness of the attack. He turns into the wall of windows as the helicopter drops into view. Neo is in the back bay, aiming a mounted 50 machine gun.
Smith.
Can you not hear me again? Am I still muted? Can you hear this? Am I silent? Can you hear me?
No, you're good
Am I-
now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I can.
All right, back up.
Go.
Jose.
The gun jumps and bullets explode through the window in a cacophony of crashing glass as the agents go for their weapons. But Neo is too close, the 50 caliber too fast, and bullets are everywhere, perforating the room. Agent Jones is hit first, his body jackknifing back, blood arcing out with a sudden flash of light. Then Agent Brown, his gun still firing as his body falls. And finally, Agent Smith. Neo stares at Morpheus, trying to will him into action.
Get up, Morpheus. Get up!
Neo grabs the climbing rope and attaches one end to his harness. Just outside the executive office, 3 Marines blister with snow static. Slowly, Morpheus lifts his face into the room's rain. When he finally opens his eyes, they are again dark and flashing with fire. He rises from the chair, snapping his handcuffs just as the agents enter the adjoining room. Agent Smith stops and sees Morpheus run past the open door.
Oh!
He fires sweeping across the sheetrock wall in a perfect line. For an instant, we see the bullet shred puncturing the wall, searing through the wet air with jet trails of chalk. And as Morpheus starts his dive for the window, a bullet buries itself in his leg, knocking him off balance.
He won't make it.
Morpheus lunges, out of control, as Neo spins every move a whip crack, snapping the other rope end to a bolted bar as Morpheus begins to fall, when Neo hurls himself into the wide blue empty space, flying for a moment. The rope shaking out behind him, an umbilical cord attached to a machine as their two bodies set in motion, rushing at each other on a seemingly magnetic course until they collide, almost bouncing free of each other, arms, legs scrambling, hands searching in furious desperation, finding, hold, clinging, till the line ends, snapping taut, cracking their fragile embrace. Morpheus tumbles, legs slipping over, falling down. The ground deliriously distant as Neo snatches hold of his mentor's still handcuffed wrist.
Gotcha!
On the government building, Trinity pulls the copter up and away as Agent Smith stands in the shattered window, aiming his gun out through the curtain of rain. Punk, punk, punk. The rear hull is punched full of holes, and smoke and oil pour out like black blood.
Shit, no!
Neo hears the helicopter begin to die.
Uh-oh.
Trinity throws the helicopter towards the roof of the nearest building. Morpheus and Neo cling to one another as they and the machine above them begin to fall. The engine grinds. The chopping blades start to slow while Trinity guides the parabolic fall over the nearest roof where Neo and Morpheus drop safely, rolling free as the rope goes slack. Neo gets to his feet, trying to detach himself, but the helicopter is falling too fast, arcing over the roof like a setting sun. The coils of slack snap taut, yanking Neo off his feet, dragging him with ferocious speed towards the edge even as Trinity lunges for the back door, her gun in one hand, grabbing for the rope with the other. Neo flies like a skipping stone, hurtling at the parapet when his feet hit the rain gutter, and he levers up just as Trinity fires, severing the cord from the helicopter, falling free of it as it smashes, blades first, into a glass skyscraper. Holding onto the rope, she swings, connected to Neo, who stands on the building's edge, watching her arc beneath him as the helicopter explodes. She bounces against a shatterproof window that spider cracks out while flames erupt behind her. On the main deck, Tank stares at the screen.
I knew it! He's the one!
On the rooftop, Neo pulls Trinity up into his arms, both shaking. They hold each other again.
Do you believe it now, Trinity?
Morpheus. The Oracle. She told me.
She told you exactly what you needed to hear. That's all. Sooner or later, Neo, you're going to realize, just like I did, the difference between knowing a path and walking a path.
On the main deck, the phone rings.
Tank.
God damn, it's good to hear your voice, sir.
We need an exit.
I got one ready. Subway, State and Balbo.
We're on our way.
We rush at the roof access door as it suddenly slams open and the three agents charge out. But Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus are already gone.
Smith, you first.
Sorry, for some reason my mic keeps cutting out. No, it's on. I don't know why. It's can you hear me now? Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Damn it.
Still me.
Is it still? Oh. All right. Sorry about that. Damn it.
The trace was completed.
We have their position.
Sentinels are standing by.
Order the strike.
They're not out yet.
In a subway station, an old man sits hunched in the far corner of the station, shadows gathered around him like blankets. Mumbling, he nurses from a bottle of Thunderbird when a phone begins to ring. Neo leads Trinity and Morpheus bounding over a set of turnstiles towards the ringing phone inside a graffiti-covered booth.
Let's go. You first, Morpheus.
Morpheus gets in and answers the phone. Lost in the shadow, the old man watches as Morpheus disappears, the phone dropping, dangling by its cord. His eyes grow wide, glowing white in the dark. On the rooftop, Agent Smith stares, his face twisted with hate. He will never be free of the Matrix. He starts to turn from the edge of the building when he suddenly hears it, his head whipping back around, staring. In the subway, through the old man's eyes as the world begins to rumble, Trinity hangs up the phone, then turns to Neo.
Neo, I have to tell you something. I don't know what it means or even if it matters, but I feel I have to say it. I've never told anyone this before. I think I've been afraid to. When I went to the Oracle, she told me that I was going to fall in love, but...
The rumble rises, drowning her voice. Neo is drawn towards her, their lips close enough to kiss, when a train blasts into the station. For a moment they are frozen by the strobing lights of the train until Neo whispers in her ear.
Promise me you'll tell me the rest?
She nods as he closes the booth. The phone rings once more before she lifts the receiver when, in the darkness of the far corner, Neo sees the old man in the flashing train light as he becomes Agent Smith, raising a fistful of black gunmetal.
No!
The gun fires, the bullet flying at her, bursting through the plastic window just as Trinity disappears. The handset hanging in the air as the bullet hits, shattering the earpiece. In the hovercraft, Trinity blinks, shivering as her conscience exits the construct.
Neo!
What the hell just happened?
And Agent, you have to send me back!
I can't!
In the subway station, the destroyed phone dangles in the empty booth. Neo turns to Agent Smith, whose gun stares at him like a third eye.
Mr. Anderson.
On the main deck, Morpheus and Trinity stand behind Tank, riveted to the scrolling code.
Run, Neo, run.
Neo looks at the dead escalator that rises up behind him. Slowly, he turns back, and in his eyes we see something different. Something fixed and hard, like a gunfighter's resolved. There is no past or future in these eyes. There is only what is. On the main deck, Trinity is unable to understand.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
In the subway station, Nero withdraws his gun with the flashpoint speed of lightning as Smith opens fire. Gun report thunders through the underground, both men blasting, moving at impossible speed. For a blinking moment, we enter bullet time. Gun flash, tongues curl from Neo's gun, bullets float forward like a plane moving across the sky, cartridges cartwheel into space. An instant later, they're nearly on top of each other, rolling up out of a move that is almost a mirrored reflection of the other, each jamming their gun tight to the other's head. They freeze in a kind of embrace. Neo sweating, panting, Agent Smith machine calm. Agent Smith smiles.
Empty.
So are you.
Smile falls. Agent Smith yanks his trigger. Click. Agent Smith's face warps with rage as he attacks. Fists flying at furious speed, blows and counters. Neo retreating as a knife hand opens his forearm, and a kick sends him slamming back against a steel column. Stunned, he ducks just under a punch that crunches into the beam, steel chunks exploding like shrapnel. Behind him, Neo leaps into the air, delivering a neck-snapping reverse roundhouse. Agent Smith's glasses fly off and he glares at Neo, his eyes ice blue.
I'm going to enjoy watching you die, Mr. Anderson.
Agent Smith attacks with unrelenting fury, fists pounding Neo like jackhammers. In the hovercraft, Trinity watches Neo as his body jerks, mouth coughing blood, his life signs going wild.
Jesus, he's killing him.
In the subway station, Agent Smith grabs hold of him, lifting him into the air, hurling him against the curved wall of the train tunnel, where he falls inches from the electrified third rail. The agent is about to jump down, press his attack, when he hears something. From deep in the tunnel, like an animal cry, a burst of high-speed metal grinding against metal. Sound of an oncoming train. Neo tries to get up. Agent Smith jumps down onto the tracks and drop kicks him in the face. The world again begins to shake, rumbling as the train nears.
Do you hear that, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability. It is the sound of your death. Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
My name is Neo.
Possibly. He hurls himself straight up, smashing Smith against the concrete ceiling of the tunnel. They fall as the sound and fury of the train explodes into the station. Neo flips up off the tracks just as the train barrels over Agent Smith. Neo stands, knees shaking, when the train slams on its emergency brake with an ear-splitting shriek of tortured rails. Train slows, part of it still in the station. Neo turns, limping, starting to run, racing for the escalator. As the train comes to a stop and the doors of the last car open, Agent Smith bursts out in furious pursuit, his glasses again intact. On the hovercraft, Tank searches the Matrix.
What just happened?
I don't know. I lost him.
He's on the run.
Oh,
Morpheus bolts to the ladder. In the cockpit, Morpheus climbs in. On the hologram radar, he sees the Sentinels.
Oh no. How long?
Oh, 5 minutes, maybe 6. Tank, charge the EMP.
Yes, sir.
You can't use that until Neo's out.
I know, Trinity. Don't worry. He's going to make it.
On the city street, a businessman walks along the sidewalk, wheeling and dealing into his cell phone when it disappears, snatched by Neo as he flashes by.
Wait, that shit, my phone. Oh, I'll be the mad businessman because I guess I turned into him anyway.
The man turns to call for help. When he turns back, it is Agent Smith. Neo is in a full-out sprint, spinning and weaving away from every pedestrian, every potential agent. He flips open the cell phone and dials long distance. On the hovercraft, Tank answers.
Operator.
Mr. Wizard, get me the hell out of here.
Neo dives down an alley. Agent Smith starting to gain.
Hurry, Tank. I got some serious pursuit.
On the hovercraft, the keyboard is clicking. Tank searches for an exit. Trinity screams into the headset.
Neo, you better get your ass back here!
In the alley, Agent Smith stops and takes aim.
I'm trying, Trinity. I'm trying.
A bullet shatters the image of Neo in a truck's rearview mirror. On the main deck, Tank speed reads the reams of Matrix code.
I got a patch on an old exit. Wabash and Lake, a hotel, room 303.
Neo spins away, turning, and finds himself in an open market that teems with people. He kamikazes his way down the little avenues, lined with vendors and shops, careening through the labyrinth out of control, and at every turn there is an agent, appearing from crowds behind fish counters, tent flaps, and crates. He dives from the maze down a service alley, but it is a dead end. Neo turns back as the agents emerge from the market.
Help? Need a little help?
Tank frantically scans the monitor like a road map.
The door!
Neo dives for it, but...
It's locked.
Kick it in!
Peeling back, Neo almost kicks the door from its hinges, lunging from the agent's bullets. Neo springs up the old crooked apartment building stairs. He is halfway down the hall, running in sharp, long strides, when a door explodes open at the end.
The door on your left! No, your other left!
He whirls back to his other left, battering through the door with splinters perforated by bullets. An old woman watches TV as Neo bursts past her and into her kitchen, where another woman is chopping vegetables.
That window!
Neo throws it open, leaping for the fire escape just as the knife buries itself in the window casing.
Down! You're down!
Tumbling down the rattling fire escape, Neo leaps the last 10 feet into the alley below with Agent Brown right behind him. Neo scrapes himself to his feet, broken and bleeding, charging for the end of the alley. On the main deck, finger on the monitor, Tank traces Neo's path.
That's it! You're almost there! That fire escape at the end of the alley!
At the hotel, Agent Smith suddenly pauses if recognizing something. The faded neon buzzes, Heart of the City Hotel. Tank loads the exit.
I'm gonna make the call.
Do it.
No.
Here they come.
The Sentinels open and shift like killer kaleidoscopes as they attack, slamming down on the Nebuchadnezzar. The hovercraft booms down as they hit. Morpheus opens the lock on the EMP detonator. Trinity watches him.
He's gonna make it.
Neo scrambles up the fire escape, bullets sparking and ricocheting around him as agents Brown and Jones close the gap. On the third floor, he kicks in the window, jumping into the hall. The door count backwards. 310, 309. At the main deck, another alarm system sounds.
They've burned through the outer hall.
Hurry, Neo.
Neo can hear the phone ringing. 305, 304. Agent Brown reaches the broken window behind him just as Neo grabs the handle of 303, throwing open the door to find Agent Smith waiting. 45 cocked. Neo can't move, can't think. Boom. On the main deck, Neo's body jerks and everyone hears it as the life monitors snap flatline. Trinity screams. Morpheus stumbles back in disbelief.
No. It can't be. It can't be.
Lasers suddenly sear through the main deck as the Sentinels slice open the hull. In the hull, 3 holes in his chest, Neo falls to the blue shag carpeting, blood smearing down the wallpaper. Agent Smith stands over him, still aiming, taking no chances.
Check him.
On the main deck, amid the destruction raining around her, Trinity takes hold of Neo's body.
Neo.
Kneeling beside him, Agent Brown checks his vital signs.
He's gone.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
In tears, Morpheus takes hold of the EMP switch. Trinity whispers in Neo's ear.
Neo, please, listen to me. I promised to tell you the rest. The Oracle, she told me that I'd fall in love, and that man, the man I loved, would be the one. You see, you can't be dead, Neo. You can't be, because I love you. You hear me?
Her eyes close, and she kisses him, believing in all her heart that he will feel her lips and know that they speak the truth. The hotel huddle. He does, and they do. His eyes snap open. On the main deck, Trinity screams as the monitors jump back to life. Tank and Morpheus look at each other. It's a miracle.
Now get up.
Holding his chest, Neo struggles to get up. At the end of the hall, the agents wait for the elevator when Agent Smith glances back. He rips off his sunglasses, looking at Neo as if he were looking at a ghost. Neo gets to his feet. All 3 agents grabbing for their guns as one, they fire.
No.
Neo raises his hands, and the bullets, like a cloud of obedient bees, slow and come to a stop. They hang frozen in space, fixed like stainless steel stars. The agents are unable to absorb what they are seeing. Neo plucks one of the bullets from the air. We see him and the hull reflected in the bright casing. We move closer until the bullet fills our vision and the distorted reflection morphs, becoming the real image. He drops the bullet and the others fall to the floor. Neo looks out, now able to see through the curtain of the Matrix. For a moment, the walls, the floor, even the agents become a rushing stream of code. On the main deck, all three stare transfixed with awe as the scrolling code accelerates, faster and faster, as if the machine language is unable to keep up or perhaps describe what is happening. They begin to blur into streaks, shimmering ribbons of light that open like windows as each screen fills with brilliant, saturated color images of Neo standing in the hall.
Ow! He is the one! He is the one!
An explosion shakes the entire ship. Agent Smith screams, his calm machine-like expression shredding with pure rage. He rushes Neo. His attack is ferocious, but Neo blocks each blow easily. Then, with one quick strike to the chest, he sends Agent Smith flying backwards. For the first time since their inception, the agents know fear. Agent Smith gets up, bracing himself as Neo charges him and springs into a dive. But the impact doesn't come. Neo sinks into Agent Smith, disappearing, his tie and coat rippling as if he were a deep pool of water. Spinning around, he looks to the others and feels something, like a tremor before a quake, something deep, something that is going to change everything. Suddenly, a searing sound stabs through his earpiece as his chest begins to swell, then balloon as Neo bursts up out of him, and with a final death scream, Agent Smith explodes like an empty husk in a brilliant cacophony of light, his shards spinning away, absorbed by the Matrix until only Neo is left. Neo faces the remaining agents. They look at each other, the same idea striking simultaneously. They run. On the main deck, Sentinels are everywhere, destroying the ship.
Neo!
Again, he hears her. He reacts to the ringing phone, rushing toward it even as a Sentinel descends towards Morpheus. On the screen, we see Neo dive for the phone as
No!
Morpheus turns the key. A blinding shock of white light floods the chamber. Sentinels blink and fall instantly dead, filling the pit with their cold metal carcasses. In the still darkness, only the humans are alive.
Neo. Neo.
His eyes open. Tears pour from her, smiling as he reaches up to touch her. She kisses him. It seems like it might last forever. Fade to black. Fade in, close on computer screen. As in the opening, the cursor beating steadily, waiting, a phone begins to ring. It is answered and the screen fills instantly with the trace program. After a long beat, we recognize Neo's voice.
Hi, it's me. I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I imagine you can also feel me. You won't have to search for me anymore. I'm done running, done hiding. Whether I'm done fighting, I suppose, is up to you. I believe deep down, we both want this world to change. I believe that the Matrix can remain our cage, or it can become our chrysalis. It's what you helped me to understand. That to be free, you cannot change your cage. You have to change yourself. When I used to look out at this world, all I could see was its edges, its boundaries, its rules and controls, its leaders and laws. But now, I see another world. A different world where all things are possible. A world of hope, of peace. I can't tell you how to get there. But I know if you can free your mind, you'll find the way.
We shoot through the holes as Neo hangs up the phone. He steps out of the phone and slides on a pair of sunglasses. He looks up, and we rise, higher and higher until the city's miles below. After a moment, Neo blasts by us, his long black coat billowing like a black leather cape as he flies faster than a speeding bullet. Fade out. The end.
Come on!
I was waiting there. I'm like, am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? I was like, fuck it.
I'm glad somebody did.
We can do a live play version of that.
No,
that was so great.
That was so much fun. Oh
That was
my
a lot
God.
of fun.
Also, when I may have died as that guard, I may have skinned my knee falling down.
Oh no!
Also, I pulled my entire
have
mixer
died?
down with me.
Dedication.
Oh,
That's acting right there. That's
Like you might have died, but you're not sure.
If you've enjoyed this performance, why don't you show that by donating?
The best possible way. The best possible way. Absolutely.
Also, I see that one of my wonderful, beautiful, and talented friends donated.
Here, we got my cat just showed up just in time to say donate.